Hello, beloved. I thank you so much for your time and I thank you for joining me on the Prophetic Vessel Show. This will be your message from God, Ra, Allah, Source, the Divine. I'm grateful for your time. To those whom are keen or interested in becoming members of my Patreon, on my Patreon, I do offer weekly sign readings for $10 per month based on love as well as spiritual path. I also offer on my Patreon personal readings for $50 per month. You get a personal reading from me every month based on love, spiritual path, career and finances, as well as ancestral messages. I also now offer one-on-one sessions / life coach sessions. Those will be once off and not monthly. You can only book me for those directly via my email, which will be listed in my description box below, as well as the link to my Patreon. If you'd rather join my Patreon instead, you can also join my Patreon by typing what is on the screen via Google, search it, and it'll lead you to my Patreon website. Without further ado, let us tap in and find out, why were you spiritually led here? What is here for you, beloved? Why did you resonate with the title? And why did your own YouTube algorithm present you with this message? Let us tap in and talk to God, okay? So you have a friend that's not really a friend. I'm channeling a frenemy energy. A friend that's not really a friend, okay? You have a frenemy in the midst of your reality. This is a slithering snake of a person, okay? They slither and they hiss in the grass that is your Garden of Eden, and they need to go. They don't belong in your kingdom, okay? Yeah, there is a clarity that you need to attain. There is something that you need to see clearly about the situation that has to do with the type of connection you share with this supposed friend of yours who's not a friend, they're a frenemy. We have the Ten of Pentacles, and they're keeping and have always been keeping a close eye on everything that has to do with you and your life. In specific, so I do see here with the Ten of Pentacles, this person sees you in a state of being, of having all the hard work you've invested within your life paying off within yourself as well. All right. This is self-growth that this person is seeing you in. They see you in the state of being, of achieving your goals, being in alignment with yourself. Okay. They see you as somebody who's actively reaping what they're sowing, and you've sown a good harvest. So the crop is delightfully fruitful and juicy. Okay, you're being perceived by this person in this way. They see you as someone who's strongly anointed. So with all that being said, this person, those whom are anointed, let's start there. People of anointing, God's anointing, walk the path of being misunderstood. And it has a fine line, right? Misunderstanding something has a fine line, because you can misunderstand something and that misunderstanding can screw your whole life up. Or you can misunderstand something for your own betterment, your highest good. It will work out in your favor. You had to not understand it, because if you had understood it, it would have messed your whole life up. So that fine line exists. Whoever this person is, there's someone whose life is truly screwed up, like absolutely damaged. This is someone who dwells within themselves in depression, misery, sadness, melancholy, somberness. This person is always in that state of being every day of their life. They're trapped in that cocoon, that shell of darkness, and it consumes them daily. So I do see you try to extend a hand to this person. You try to take from yourself, from your kingdom, and extend to someone here. But someone who did not deserve it. Someone who is meant to be of peasantry status within your reality. This is not anyone worthy of being close to your royalty. This is no one that is meant to be close to you in any way. They're a snake, like I said. So this person has wronged you. They've wronged you from the first encounter you've had with them, the first hello. This is someone here who has a lot of secrets. We have the moon. A lot of hidden motives in plain sight. This is someone who actively plans against you and schemes and plots against you and strategizes against you actively while laughing in your face or being a supposed comforting person towards you, being kind, genuine and sincere and compassionate, whilst all in the same breath planning your demise, your downfall in the back of their mind. Holding that sword, ready to stab you in the back at any given time. So this was someone who you allowed in your reality with good intentions, but they were never meant to stay. You were meant to learn from one another. You were meant to teach them. They were meant to teach you. And that lesson was meant to take you to the next chapter of your life. This was the friend that taught you what you don't want and what you want in a friendship. This was a friend that taught you boundaries, that taught you to assert yourself, because your good-hearted nature can be somehow taken advantage of by people who misunderstand it. They take it as a weakness. And you end up falling victim into the hands of an evil person. This person is an evil person here. They purposely wish ill and harm and death upon your life entirely. Every single day. They live in that energy towards you. They've been keeping a close eye on you at this time because they're seeing that your life is progressing in such a manner that they're not happy about, but who cares? All this bitch is upset about is the fact that they are unable to be who they want to be. And because another person is closer to their truest wish fulfillment, it's a supposed problem. But the only problem is they're refusing to reflect and take a look in the mirror at who they actually are and start projecting their insanity on another person. You shouldn't have cared the way you cared for them, and you know that now. You shouldn't have loved them the way you did, and you know that now. And the fact that you figured them out has this person in deep frustration. We have the Five of Swords reversed because they feel like they're completely defeated at their supposed mastermind of a plan and strategy to come against you, form weapons against you. They don't know that an anointed one, people will, it's like a declaration, a commandment from the Most High God that us as His children always walk with those that mean us well. And if you don't mean us well, your weapons that you form against us will work in your demise and your downfall and in our favor. So meaning that this bitch, all she cares about is proving a point and competition and being sinister and dark, unhealthy motives, and her toxicity, one which you tried to save her from, is the very same toxicity she used to project death and wish ill upon your life. But this is the same person that sits in a corner and feels like a victim, like the world is against them. What are you talking about? You are sowing your own seeds. The world is against you because you are against everybody in it. This person is against every single person. They're like this. They just like to hide it. They hide the big lie that they hate everybody and they have to pretend like they don't. This is someone that lives a reality that is completely the opposite of their truth. They live in two different dimensions. They have two different identities. There are two different minds in that person, two different hearts in that person. There's two different spirits in that person. This is someone who likes to fill their void with so many distractions of their own world, their own reality, their own life. And they get caught up in it because it never works. They never find any strong enough remedy or medication to cater to their insanity. They know that they are unwell. Who lives a life of continuously being in two dimensions, negative energy. Who lives a life where they're constantly in two different realities, two different paradigms, like completely. Meaning this person could be in a relationship with someone, and within that relationship they don't love that person at all. They with them for their own dark, sinister desires that they are fulfilling through a personality that is the only way they can fulfill their desire. They have to conjure up a personality, but their truest form of identity in all ways, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, someone is not who the rest of the world thinks they are. Their world, their life, their reality, and you are a part of it. Whoever this person has shown themselves to be, they're not like that. They completely shapeshift when they're done with you. Like they're like, oh, I have this person and with them this is my personality. I have that person and with them this is my personality. Once they're done projecting that personality onto you in hopes to create the illusion that you believe, they go back and shapeshift to their truest identity. This person hates everybody, but in order to coexist with humanity, they have to pretend that they have and feel love. We have the King of Cups here. We have Virgo energy. We have Cancer energy. We have Aquarius energy. We have double Cancer energy. We have Scorpio energy here. We have Pisces energy. This person has a very negative spirit. They'll encourage you with their words to actively make you believe they're a good person. They'll portray these actions. This is someone that studies how to coexist with love and humanity. They have to study love in order to be of it, because they can't truly embody it. They have to fake it, so they have to act. They teach themselves to be of love. And not because they want to be a better person, but because they want to fool the other person for their own dark, sinister motives at all times. Like I said, this is someone, there's a man here in this woman's life. This friend who's a frenemy is a woman. There's a man involved. A man you know. It's like this is a boyfriend here with the King of Cups. This is someone she was connected to in terms of romance or a romantic relationship. She was connected, or she is connected to someone here. There's a man showing up here. Look, we have the Devil to the Queen of Swords to the Eight of Wands. This bitch is projecting her demons onto you. Your shine enables her to be afraid to even have her man lay eyes on you. But because you already know who this man is and this man knows you, it's too late for that now. So that has already escalated to something else, because they don't even want this man laying his eyes on you. They would prefer that he never even knew you. But this woman can't snap her fingers and this man forgets you. He met you, you met him. It is what it is. Her biggest nightmare and fear in the whole world right now is that you are going to expose her for who she truly is. This is a woman that she feels a type of way about your whole entire identity. Because when she looks at you, she looks at a role model. But because she doesn't have love within her, she can't do anything outside of hate. Therefore, she hates you. But it's her illness. She can't be good, okay, balanced, in harmony. This is someone who is an alcoholic and a narcotic. They be popping all sorts of pills and bottles. You try and have tried to be there, to share your light, but with the wrong person. You shared your light with a snake. This woman, from the first time her man laid eyes on you, she wanted to end your life because she's that afraid of your womanhood power. Let's tap in further here. This woman has always been afraid and intimidated by your whole entire identity and life. She just hid it to the extent that she couldn't hide it anymore. And now that you see her true colors, she's afraid you're going to expose them to everybody else so that everybody else sees it too. Because this woman feels like everybody cares what you think and how you feel entirely. Everybody that she sees to be of value, everybody that she sees to matter, all those people will be on your side. And she knows that because she sees that you are a supposed queen of your kingdom. But it's not supposed, it's really that. You have your people who, when you say that person ain't right, they won't question you. So if you say she ain't right, those mutual people that she knows as well will declare her and render her out of alignment. And that's her biggest, worst fear and nightmare. So what she tried to do is she tried to befriend you and play the role of who you know, she was studying your identity. This be the bitch that stays up and writes notes on you, your body language, your facial features, what you like, what you dislike, your mannerisms, everything, and compiles a personality just perfectly fits for your identity. Oh, I'm going to be exactly like this because I've studied you enough to know that this is the way that seeing me like this, I'm going to have trust in your heart. You're going to trust me. She wanted you to be so close to her and see her as this harmless, beautiful, angelic figure of a person. But that's a straight demon waiting to slash and slay with her supposed darkness. Mind you, she hates you. This woman hates your whole entire being. The level of hatred is the one that is for a lifetime. She'll never not hate you. Like I said though, in order for her to coexist, we've established she has to portray personalities. She studies the identity and sees how she can compile a personality to fit that specific individual's identity. If you're someone that likes to, let's say, like you're somebody that believes, right? You're somebody that believes in God. This be the bitch sending you scriptures. or holding your hand and saying, please, let's pray. Or telling you that, please tell me more about your faith. And like, she'll reel you in with the things she feels you hold dearly. She'll play with the very same thing that is good about you. She tries to find every single flaw about your identity, every single weakness. She tries to find every single thing about you that she can use as a weapon. Everything that she feels can make you cry and bring you to a point of sadness, melancholy. Like I said, misery likes company. This person is a very, very lonely girl. Lonely in this world of actual human beings and not parasites and sociopaths and masochists and sadists. This woman is sick. She's one of many. She carries a sickness with her. This mental illness that she has to pretend she can cope with all the narcotics and alcohol, pill popping and bottle popping as well. This be the woman that, because of her lack of direction in life, she can never be happy for anyone else who has it figured out for themselves. You included, right? When she looks at you, she doesn't see motivation. She feels bitterness because she feels like life left her behind. Why is she not healed? Why is she not evolved? Why is she not growing? Why doesn't she have emotional stability? Why doesn't she have this mental acuity and IQ? This woman has always had a mental illness, a mental condition. She's always been mentally disturbed. Her family have always seen that about her, even though she lives every day in constant motion of hiding it. Everybody sees her sickness vividly. No matter who it is, they all see it. They all know that this person is not well. Mentally, they need help. But they're afraid of poking the bear because they're afraid of seeing this person lose their mind. Everyone around this person is walking around eggshells because they don't want to voice the fact that they want them to look into getting mental help. This is someone who feels like the world is against them, but they never make the effort to make the world a better place for themselves. How do you go seeking to destroy another person's life actively every day, but want the world to feel like a peaceful, joyous place for you? This is someone who has sat down and plotted to commit a certain crime against you. This is someone, when they're in the state of being, of having the narcotics in their system and the alcohol, they wander off to their imagination and formulate all sorts of scenarios of you dead. They like to envision you killed. The very same person who say, hey, this person has paid people to look into your every single, like, this is a backstory. They want information about your past. This is a woman that has been actively digging for dirt against you to use as a weapon that she wants to form. She's been trying to find something that she can put in everyone's face to turn them on their side. She wants you to be stripped of your credibility in people's eyes. Everybody now begins to question you. That you're no longer seen the way you're seen, or thought of the way you're thought of, or felt about the way you were felt about, because she dug up something about your past that is so gruesome and dark and grotesque that it will make everyone turn against you. That's what she's been looking for, something so gruesome, dark, and grotesque to use so that everybody is on her side and sees her as a supposed light bearer for shining the light on such a demon that is you. But you're not the one actively plotting against another person's life. She is. We have double Pisces energy. We have Libra energy here. Growing up, this woman's childhood was filled with her guardians, her relatives telling her, yo, stop doing this. Whether it was a parent or any relative who wasn't a guardian figure to look after her, or, anything that has to do with that, nurturing her in her childhood in any way. They used to tell this woman, you don't listen. Stop doing this. Stop doing that. She was a little girl, but that little girl is now a woman, and she never stopped doing any of those things. She thought that she knew better, and that perception has never changed till this day. But like we all know, there's things that our parents tried to warn us about. Even if they did it this way or that way, this way or that way, it was a warning because they knew something we didn't at that time. Now, this is the very same woman who, that young girl, has always been dark. That darkness has just seethed and rotted, and now it's peaking. She's always been a dark person. She's always carried a dark spirit. She always had this state of being of hating every single. This woman literally can't feel love. She can't feel love at all. Like, she doesn't know what love feels like. She just studies humanity and the next person to see, oh, this is a gesture of love. Let me do it. Oh, this does not work. What is it that I read again? I studied about body language to show love. Oh, smile, facial expressions. But, lay your hand on the person to gesture kindness. Like, you're dealing with someone here who has a true sickness. They're unwell mentally. They've learned to coexist in humanity. They hate you. But the thing is, they want to do something about it. They don't want to just form a personality and be what you want them to be so that they, you're on their side. They don't want that with you. What they want is something different. They want you gone in the world because you're the epitome of their failure to address what's really going on with them. Who you are proves that they could have made wiser decisions and choices. And that's nothing they want to reflect on. So, because you trigger their lack of growth, they want to take your life. That's why they contemplate it so much, especially when they're under the influence. It just takes them to just a place so deep in the imagination, it even tingles their demons like, I'd like to see her burn. Like, just like. This is always how things have been. This woman has always had instances where she's encountered somebody. And because she never truly had any genuine feelings of love towards them, they will strategize, plot, scheme, and plan ways to form weapons against that person. This is the friend in the group that will be who everyone wants them to be. They'll be the one that smiles the most. Everyone confides in them and feels comforted by their presence. But it's just that person's way of keeping everyone under their control. They'll play the game, but they're not a genuine gamer. They're afraid of you because you know who they truly are. You know about everything that has to do with them. You know about the identity that they claim to be and the identity they truly are. She lives in fear of that because, like I said, you have the credibility to make and break her life. Your words can shatter her whole entire reality, her world, because those who listen to you are the ones that she needs, are the ones that she looks up to, are the ones that she values, are the ones that she has portrayed all this identity and personality of love to, because she wants to keep these people in her life. So you are messing up her life, quote unquote. But look, she wanted that for you. She wanted your life to be messed up because of her, but God always turns the tables. Leave people alone. Because the energy she tried to send your way is returning to her. She's going to constantly watch you be okay in life while she deals with her demons and the fact that she was envisioning you dead in her mind. This is a woman who literally has to live with this. She has to live with the fact that she wants you dead, but she can never touch you. Not physically, not emotionally, not mentally, not spiritually. She has nothing on you. She has to live with it and accept it too, unfortunately. This woman tried to take your kindness for weakness. She thought, oh, because you are this good person, it's going to be a no-brainer to conjure up a personality, to deceive you. But you saw right through her, and that's what enabled this to happen. She shouldn't have stepped into a reality in the first place. Because like I said, anointed ones, it is a declaration and a commandment from God that we live a reality with truth and truth only. So if you're not of truth in my life as an anointed one, it will reveal itself and you will bow, sinner. Why aren't we all actively trying to repent for our sins? Why do we keep making the world worse by inflicting the same pain we feel on others? You know, as this woman knows, there's so much in the world, so much sickness, so much heartache, and she's just giving it up to the world and cursing the world actively as well, when she can make it a better place. But because you choosing to do that, it's a problem for her, because she didn't make that choice. She worsens everything. She goes deep and dark every single time with every single thing about her life. And someone like you of light is a supposed problem. You're dealing with someone who watches you with the lens of, I want to see every single thing that I can use against you, whilst you are trying to actively be there for them in a genuine and sincere state of being. Then this is the very same person that's going to be like, oh my God, the world is against me. You see what I'm saying? She lacks responsibility and accountability within herself. This is a woman that craves to see you in a certain state of being, because your womanhood power is her biggest desire. And because she can't attain your womanhood power, she can't have it, she can't embody it, she'd rather destroy it. Hence, she's been actively digging so much of your past and any information she can find, any person, anything, to ensure that she turns everyone against you. She wants to leak information and make sure it lands on everyone's ears and everyone's eyes, and ensure that it affects everyone's mind and heart about you, to ensure that things go a particular way. She just wants your reputation to be affected so that you're no longer perceived as this credible queen energy. She doesn't want you to be seen as a queen, as an empress. She wants something to be wrong about you, so that she can feel better about her fuck up of her life. And this is her conjuring up all of these delusions high off the pill and drunk off the alcohol, actively making it worse, purposely. There's no remorse for someone like this who actively chooses to do this. They've been seeing that nothing is going wrong in your life, and they just upset and mad and angry and truly bitter about it, to the extent that you can't fathom, because your mind doesn't go that far. You can't comprehend that level of hate. You wouldn't think that far. You wouldn't feel that much of it in your heart. You wouldn't go there. But they are there every single day, and the rabbit hole just deepens. They're a hateful breed of an individual within their heart and mind. That's all they can do. They have a sickness they can't love, and they should have sought the help in the beginning. Now it's too late because they refused. God has given this woman so many chances to choose herself and actually have the help she needs. Tell people that are close to her that she doesn't feel like she can coexist. She feels there's something wrong. She needs some form of help psychologically. It would have taken her life to a different predicament. Now she has to await her doom of karma, because she knows that she's never been a genuine, sincere person to anyone. She's never been good. All she's been is bad, and she has to await the pending doom of that same energy to come back to her and her life, her world, and her reality. This is someone who wants you to be a laughing stock. They want you to be someone that is not respected or looked at in respect. But like I said, like we've established in the energy, they're going to live to suffer. They're going to constantly wish they would have been a better person. When this sickness hits its peak and climax, and it can no longer be handled and controlled and dealt with narcotics, any form of substance abuse, and the alcohol, when that no longer works, when watching tutorials on how to be of love never works, when studying someone just to make sure that you are also acting as genuine as possible because you really want to fool that person, when that no longer works, when everything and everyone is against you because you truly are deserving of that outcome, because you've never been on anyone's side but yourself. You've always actively formed weapons against people. Like I said, this woman here, she doesn't take responsibility and accountability of herself within. Just because you're pretending here and smiling at someone, it doesn't mean you are genuine within you about that same thing you're doing. It just means you are playing a game and you are actively lying. Just because she can pretend to be of love doesn't mean she has it, and because she doesn't have it, pretending is going to get a little bit harder when there is no strength to continue to do so. When your suffering is so insurmountable, you need to go to the psych ward and actually check yourself in, because that's the fate you sold for yourself when you didn't choose yourself, when you knew you needed the help. This woman actively knew that she was damaged within. She knows her life, she knows her story, but she never chose herself. And people like you come along in life to try and lay a helping hand because God is that good. But God gets fed up when someone like this actively causes pain and hurt in people's lives for no reason and doesn't want to be saved. God has to force you to want to be saved by showing you what you've chosen. And this person has chosen her own mental illness, and it will stay with her for the rest of her life, because that's what she chose. Why do you think God always pushes us into the path of good? Why do you think Jesus urges us to be good? God is trying to enable us to not have to pay as much karma. Like someone like this who has so much karma to pay that it's going to take them their whole life to repay God. God is going to remind them of every single moment they stood and formed weapons against people for no reason because of their own things that they actively were given a choice to deal with, heal from, work on, and never chose to, and actively chose to hurt and inflict pain in people's lives because they don't want to look in the mirror and address what's really wrong with them. What does God have to do? Put you in a position to choose yourself by force. Reflect. When this sickness starts to control you because you thought you could control it and you didn't turn to God, you didn't turn to yourself and choose yourself, you were actively trying to manipulate people and be a fox, those very same people are not going to be on your side when they find out you were never genuine, ho. This friend, beloved, was never a friend. They were a friend of me, and you're not the only one that's going to see that about them, and you won't need to expose them for everyone else to see it because it's going to come out on its own. When it comes full circle, they will reap what they sow. Everyone will see their true colors. It's life. We all will go through repenting for our sins. The darkness that this woman holds takes her to places where she envisions you dead for no reason. You are actively trying to help this person and they are envisioning you dead. That just comes to show how dark of a world we live in and why people like us, beloveds, matter. Because at least we help keep humanity intact when animals like these roam earth. This woman fell in love with the fact that she was this dark person. She loved the game of pretending to be something she's not in front of people. Hearing someone vent to them, knowing damn well they hate that person and wish them death. You're not the only one. And then having to smile in that person's face. They live with this condition, this disturbance, this illness. It's all in their mind, their brain, their mental. And they actively fell in love with it, actively chose it, actively. They loved it. They fell in love with the sickness. And because of that, it's going to consume them entirely. The only time they've ever felt love and they loved their own sickness, instead of loving themselves enough to cure it, because they know the sickness. This person, when they researched this sickness, they looked at its effects, it's this, it's that, and they weren't, when they actively knew, because they knew that they were not, something was wrong with them, and they found out what's wrong, they didn't reach for the solution, they reached to worsen the problem. Because they enjoyed being sick. They enjoyed their own sickness. And now that it has gotten them where it has gotten them, when someone like you, who sees everything unintendedly, but because you are who you are, you see through every fog, every mist, every illusion. Rose-colored lenses. You see. And because you see them, you're the biggest nightmare. They fear you. They're afraid. You've seen them truly. They've never been truly seen. But they're about to, and it won't be your doing. It will be their doing, because everyone will awaken to who they truly are. Things are going to start coming up. This is someone who they don't hate in silence. That's the thing with this person. They don't hate in silence. When they portray the personality to the person, they go behind their back and lie to that person about them. The hate comes out when they turn the back on the person. It's like this person was actively sowing this reality when they were doing this. Because imagine telling that person something about that person, and then telling that person something about that person. And when those two meet outside of you and they say, oh, you told them this about each other in this specific way, the truth comes out about who you truly are. And right then and there, you're exposed. And beloved, you won't need to be there. And the way your life is going to continue to progress, they'll have a reason to hate you. Because right now, this bitch is just way too into narcotics and alcohol to take responsibility and accountability for her own self. Things are not going to work out for her anymore. She won't get away with this anymore. She'll go to that person and lie in such ways that you don't understand. Like in ways that will literally ruin the character that you hold. In ways that can cause legalities where you be like, yo, nah, for saying that, I can take you to court and sue you for defamation of character. This person doesn't say small things. They'll lie in such ways that make the next person question your whole entire identity. And they're saying these things to people that are connected to you, and they think you won't find out. And they're like this with regards to everyone. And they think this one won't speak to this one, and this one will supposedly figure this out, and they'll know. It's like once you're exposed, this person, once they're exposed, they know it's over. Everyone will see them for who they are. And their little game will be over. And they'll be left with nothing but the mirror to look at. And actually, maybe now, consider getting help. Because the life they've sown with this sickness that they fell in love with and chose actively every single day, clearly it has failed them. They're projecting all this nonsense on you, wanting you to go through this and go through that. Like, is she serious when all you were trying to do is be there for her? Is she for real? This is why you get scarred and you have trauma about friendships, because of people like this and they feel. This woman has done so much scarring upon people. You're not the only victim. You're not the only one this woman has played emotionally and mentally. All these emotional and mental games that have caused so many scars upon people's identity and lives. She loves the game. And every single year, she gets worse. It's like with the year and the energy that comes and goes, it's just because she doesn't cleanse herself off of the past version of her. She takes the past to the current, meaning yesterday, she takes it into today. And when today becomes yesterday, it's taken into the next day. It's like this woman never heals, never works on herself, never goes within, never looks in the mirror, never addresses anything. She just lives a life of complete illusion. All that's going to go away. This fake life of illusion she's committed herself to living. It's going to go away. And when you lift in the mirror, bitch, and you have to really look at yourself because you are your worst enemy, and really understand that people bring you into their life because they want to, not because you are needed. Maybe it'll sink in that you've just been a sick bitch who thinks she's a mastermind. But all she's been is a dark-spirited person who's hurt so many people on purpose for her own gain. And that very same gain is going to be the reason you are hurt your whole life. When it turns on you, every single lie you've told about this person and that person, everything you've said and done, and ways you've acted with the lack of genuine and sincere words and actions that and emotions that you've given out to the world, it's going to come back to you, ho. The world is going to show you that you are nothing but an illusionist by portraying the truth in your face. This woman will have nothing more than herself. And because she's her worst enemy, she'll be actively trying to escape herself every day, suffering in her own silence. Because is she going to tell that person, oh, I secretly hate you, but I just show love to you because it's a game to me? Like I said, this is a lonely girl thinking it's a game to not feel love. Girl, you should have gotten to get yourself checked out. You know your life, you know your story, you know what happened to you. You know your own emotions and thoughts. You should have gone to get yourself checked out because you knew you needed the help, but you didn't, ho. And now your sickness, you wanted to spread to everyone else's life because you refuse to heal yourself by just taking a look in the mirror and saying, yes, I know I need help. Beloved, you tried to help this person and they were just spitting in your face indirectly or even literally. Take it out of applies. But they were indirectly and directly spitting in your face. Every single conversation you've had with this person was rehearsed in her mind. When she would talk to you, she'd be like, damn, I know this bitch want me to say this. I'm going to say this just to get this bitch fooled into believing this and then whatever. Sometimes you even irritate her because she's like, damn, she be forgetting she's acting. She be finding herself staring at you with the most hate. When you look back at her, when you look at her, make eye contact, she has to snap out of her hate and try to act like she has love for you. And she does that with everyone, including those that actually truly have love for her, like you did. Someone like this will never know what it's like to feel happy. That's why her twisted way of consoling that truth about herself that she'll never be happy, she makes sure that no one else is. Because she knows she's too deep in this sickness. She knows how far it has controlled her and her whole entire identity and life. Like, I can actually feel it. It's something very severe and serious going on with someone here. In the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon, she lives with this sickness and it consumes her. This is a woman behind the scenes. She be stabbing all the pillows, breaking all the dishes and furniture and every valuable object around her. Self-harming. Looking at herself in the mirror only to just threaten herself and tell herself that she deserves to die. Getting into the shower and crying for hours until the water turns cold because the hot water has run out. And then the very same person will pick herself up and say, now bitch, you have to act normal because you're a fucking hateful person who can't even act like she has love. That's how much you don't have it. You can't even act like it. She talks to herself exactly like that. Because like I said, she doesn't know love. She can't love herself. How can she love you or anyone else for that matter? It's not on you that you try to help this person. You're a good person. It's not on you that you try to extend yourself. You're just a good person. Remain that way. But understand that sometimes in life, we extend ourselves to the wrong people, and it's just life. It's how it goes. Once we reflect and heal from those connections, we move on. Not with the burden of, oh, it's going to happen again, it's going to happen again, it's going to happen again, but with the assertiveness that I've learned my lesson and God will never put me through that twice. Unlike this woman who's going to live a life of severe lessons. She'll be put through the same thing over and over again as she has already. Her life has always reflected her lack of good decisions. How many choices and chances did she receive from her life, her world, her reality, and those in it to do better and choose better? And actually speak and say, you know what, I think I have a problem. I need help. Instead, she thought, oh, screw the world. When the world doesn't owe you anything. This is yourself. You know your life, you know your story, your thoughts, and your emotions. Why don't you choose yourself? She's still worried about the world. Herself. Her suffering. Her tears. Her burdens that she lives with. Not what she portrays to people as a personality, because that doesn't go with you in the casket when your demons are there. Or with what we've established, she goes through all these things and then she picks herself up and has to coexist. No one's there when she goes through all those things. In those moments, doesn't she still say, you know what? Doesn't she awaken to the fact that she needs help? Doesn't she snap into the reality of the situation that she needs help? Doesn't she see it? Or she's just acted so blind that she's become blind. She's chosen the blind path. The blind leading the blind. There's no one that can help her by herself, but if she doesn't even see herself or know herself or understand herself, because she's lived with these two people within herself, what is she going to do? She has to choose one. It's either she allows herself to remain this hateful person who's going to die lonely, unloved, and insane, or step into her truth and actually come out with the truth to those around her that she needs help and tell them the truth of who she is. It had to get to this point for her to choose herself. When she's forced to, life is going to force this woman to make a choice, because she won't be able to keep up with her two people within her anymore, her big lie anymore. It's not going to be something she can do. I'm smelling like breath mints and cold bottled water. This woman likes to take morning drives before the sun is out. She hates the sun. She hates the daytime. She hates the light. This woman is someone that is of the darkness purely. That even that she just can't stand seeing the sunrise. She can't stand seeing people happy and laughing and going about their life with positivity. She can't stand seeing someone who looks at life with a better perspective than she does. She wants everybody to be as sick as her, and that's this woman's problem. That's where the sickness is getting out of hand, because she's trying to drag people that have nothing to do with it in it. In her abyss of darkness. She's trying to tie other people to her sickness, making it everyone's problem that she's sick, but it's hers. It's becoming very difficult to be around this woman. People in her reality don't want to be around her because she's overbearing with her own burdens. Imagine not working on yourself, not ever healing and walking this path of life. You'll be a burden to everyone because you want to vent to this one. You want to tell this one about how you feel and what you think. every single time, and there won't be any change. It will just get worse. And what happens to the other person? It's not them that has to deal with that. It's you. And because you're trying to put it on them, they'll have to choose themselves, unlike you. You chose yourself, and this woman has to reflect on that as motivation for her own deliverance and saving. She's so deep in darkness. She literally sits back in bed with like every type of snack she wants or whatever, and envisions you dead, and snacks and laughs and envisions all these scenarios. She even closes her eyes, or it gives her the tingle, or it just makes her goosebumps just arise in her skin. Like this woman. And all you've ever done is show her love. Now life won't give her the opportunity to choose better. Life will do it for her, but it won't be kind, of course, because the opportunity for that is over. For life to treat this woman with kindness, for her to have blessings and favor. Now she has to actively work on repenting, because her karmic debt is delaying her blessings and favor. Her bad deeds, her bad doings, her bad energy, her wrongs are standing in her way of her rights. Her birthright to have this and that is being delayed, because she's delayed it herself by sending out negative energy on earth to hinder her own prosperity and success. And when someone like you is prospering and is of success, you trigger that awakening that shit, I might have chosen wrong. I should have asked for help. Was it too late? Now there's so much more at risk, because I'll have to come clean that I was never who people thought I was. Instead of addressing it right then and there when it was actively happening in the beginning, and getting the help she needs before it's as worse as it is now, to the extent that she doesn't see herself getting out of it. It's so hard for this woman to see past her own darkness now. It's not like before when she could see the light, but just not choose it. Now the light is so far gone in her reality, in her mind and heart, in her spirit, she can't see it at all. This woman lives in complete darkness every single day. This woman falls asleep to horror movies. She falls asleep to people's screams. She searches the people screaming in fear, and she falls asleep to that. She loves watching people get in excruciating pain. People just in excruciating circumstances of pain. She watches that for entertainment. She loves watching people lose their lives to overdose. She'll search up someone overdosing on pills, whether it's a true story or it's movie-based or any film or video or whatever. This woman's like that. She's that far gone into the darkness. Every single day, that's what she's about. So be careful here. Do not be fooled. Oh, of course. Hence, you are her biggest nightmare, her worst ever nightmare. Biggest fear, her worst fear, because you've seen her for who she truly is. Her personality didn't deceive you. You saw exactly what she was trying to do, what game she was playing. You saw through the emotional and mental games. She wants you to be afraid of her. She's always wanted you to be afraid of her. Hence, she wanted so badly for people to be on her side, because she feels like that's the way to get you to fear her. So she tried to be close to you enough to get things, information about you to use, so that people see you in a certain type of way. Her biggest accomplishment with all of this, what she was hoping was to turn people against you, so that you feel left out, And she is now the one who's trusted and respected because she exposed you. But now do you understand how the tables have turned? That's why I'm saying be careful what we wish on people, the thoughts and the emotions that cross our minds when it comes to other people, because we hinder our own selves, not wanting someone else to be in a certain position, but you want to be in a certain position. What makes you think you are any more deserving than the next person? Why don't you just allow people to live their life? And if you're not meant to be in their life and you know that, remove yourself and work on yourself and heal. This person didn't do that. Now she's going to be exposed because she never chose to be a good person. Everyone around her is sick of her. She be calling people. People don't want to talk. They got their own things going on. She be trying to confide in this one and that one and all these things. No one cares anymore because everyone is living life with their own doings, emotions, and thoughts. They have their own realities and worlds to reflect on. They have a life. All she has is herself, and she's her biggest hater. See, the hate she has for you and everyone else is nothing like the hate she has for herself. Instead of choosing herself, she chose to further worsen it for herself by falling in love with the very same thing she knew was going to eliminate her. She was hoping by now this sickness has already taken her out. She knew that she was falling into a path of darkness. But because now she's seeing things in life turning out a certain way, she's like, no, she doesn't want that anymore. And now she wants to go back and undo a decision she made years ago. There's nothing like that. She has to take accountability and responsibility for that decision and choose better when the time comes. But for now, she has to focus on the karmic debt. Pay and take responsibility and accountability for your own actions, words, and emotions and thoughts. You tried being a good person to her, beloved. Even this man here. But this man doesn't even want to deal with this woman anymore. Like, this man feels like this is a relationship he does not want to be in. He looks at this woman as the devil, like, because he also deals with her episodes. One time she acts exactly how this man wants, based on, oh, she Googles how to be in a relationship with someone, what to say, how to act. This woman is not right. This is not right. She needs help. Why doesn't she go get help? And now this very same man sees right through all of that. He's like, yo, I don't think I want to do this anymore. I don't think you're who I want to be with. The very same illusion she portrayed for years in this man's face. All these illusions she's portrayed in people's faces are going to fall. The mask is going to fall. And it's not going to be anyone's doing but her own. You're not going to lift a finger. You're not going to need to. She's already sown those seeds. Her life is just going to reflect that. And it's not going to be anyone's problem but hers. And you're going to be okay because you chose that for yourself. And she's going to have to learn the hard way that she should have looked at you as motivation. Period. I'm being called to end this message here. This was your message from God, Ra, Allah, Source, the Divine. I'm grateful for your time and I thank you so much for joining me on the Prophetic Vessel Show. To those whom are keen or interested in becoming members of my Patreon, on my Patreon, I do offer weekly sign readings for $10 per month based on love as well as spiritual path. I also offer on my Patreon personal readings. For $50 per month, you get a personal reading from me every month based on love, spiritual path, career and finances, as well as ancestral messages. I also offer on my Patreon, no, not on my Patreon, I also offer now one-on-one sessions / life coach sessions. Those will be once offered, not monthly. You can only book me for those directly via my email, which will be listed in my description box below, as well as the link to my Patreon if you'd rather join my Patreon instead. You can also join my Patreon by typing what is on the screen via Google, search it, and it'll lead you to my Patreon website. I thank you all for everything, and I will see you all soon. Goodbye.